Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We have quite a lot of Star Citizen new gameplay coming soon. Star Citizen Alpha 3.7.1 is getting ready to go live. We have another 3.7.1 PTU patch. There are some updates on both 3.8 as well as what CIG have been working on with crafting, harvestables, the multi-tool, cargo management, caves, and some new gameplay, a lot of which, as I said, is coming soon. But first, in the newsletter, there was a sneak peek of the heavy support armor, which I think looks amazing. I can imagine a combat medic running around with this on. Some very cool looking stuff there. Biohazard, big case of, I don't know, goodies, weapons, who knows. There is a 3.7.1c open PTU patch that just came out, which had a couple of updates. I'll just very briefly go through these, as I don't want this to be a patch note video. And they added an additional utility port for the flare, which is really cool. Now you don't have to constantly be changing over weapons and items, or you say weapons and items, your utility slots to have a flare and to have your multi-tool. They have temporarily disabled scramble races due to a mission-breaking bug. Pressing tab to enter scan mode should no longer disable the quantum snare for the mantis. Keybinds should now show properly for UI prompts for a party invite. Duplicate items should no longer be showing. Quantum drive audio should now be playing properly. Player ships should no longer occasionally get frozen when exiting quantum travel. And they fixed a server crash. There are 6 remaining known issues that are being closed out that CIG have got listed, which quantum travel bugs are the majority of at the moment. So they're trying to fix a small list of bugs now. It's confirmed that ship reclaiming issues are now fixed too. That was probably the most important bug to get fixed in the 3.7 branch. Around 80% of ship logouts are functioning correctly when you're in beds now. They're trying to get that up as high as possible, so when you log back in from a bed that you've logged out in, you are much more likely to be exactly where you left off. I'm hoping that they will do a quick check of mission accessibility as well, as bounty missions were breaking. They have noted that they are aware of that, and they are trying to get a load of these issues fixed for 3.7.1. But if they do get that done, it's going to be a genuinely awesome patch. CIG use player feedback and bug reports to help fix issues and detect which ones are the most egregious. It was stated by CIG, though, that they're going to have probably one more patch after this one, a 3.7.2 patch before 3.8, and there is a push towards quality of life and playability from AI to HUDs to accessibility of content for 3.8. So with that in mind, Ship AI 3D Pathfinding v2 for 3.8 has had a huge amount of work on it. This is incredibly important for smart functioning AI in the game. They've got 25 of 27 tasks done for that. My hope is that when this is implemented, we will see much more stable AI that doesn't constantly break, as it's a lot of optimizations as well, and it helps them, navigate the verse. There was also a little bit of progress on Microtech, space station interiors, the Carrack, and a restricted area rework. It's looking more and more likely that they're potentially going to be adding a lot more missions to 3.8 and potentially taking away full-on armistice zones and having laws enforced by security and defenses and the law system at that stage as well. So potentially a little bit earlier than I thought. Star Citizen Live gave us a huge amount of insight on what CIG are working on for 3.8, as well as evolving content and plans for the future. Harvestables in the future are going to be able to be eaten and used in other ways, not just selling. You're going to be able to use them for missions and for research data, maybe the extraction of chemicals, use for other missions and crafting even. So they want a crafting system that allows you to use other items and stuff that you find. Some of these are going to be for refining purposes, some of these are going to be for combining purposes. The idea is that you'll be able to use these to craft other things, or to complete missions, or to sell once you've actually crafted something a bit better. The actor status system will track hunger, thirst, and other things affecting a character and reduce their health and stamina accordingly. If you're starving for a few days, you're not going to be running a long distance without getting very out of breath very quickly. NPCs will be much more effective if they're fed, clean and happy, as will players. There are currently around 206 missions in the mission system in-game. This includes variants of missions though. They are building out more difficult new missions, missions focused on sharing with a group. They want to overhaul the user interface for this as well to help indicate which missions are intended to be tackled as a group, as well as having missions that have larger payouts and all that sort of stuff. They want to indicate to players how difficult a mission is, what sort of ships you might need, without saying in big bold letters, you need this. And this is true of the multi-tool as well. Some missions are going to require you to have a cutting tool on the multi-tool. We had this with the damn satellite mission a while ago. The multi-tool will have additional functionality in the future as well. They are currently working on a tractor beam attachment for moving cargo and items, some of which you wouldn't normally be able to move or carry. They are going to continue to add more attachments to that multi-tool, allowing it to do more and more things. The multi-tool cutter attachment, which is actually currently in-game, doesn't have that much use in-game currently. As I said, it was previously used on the down satellite mission, but they're going to be adding locks on boxes and vents or hatches that you'll then be able to use the cutting tool to be able to open them up. Basically, soon we will be able to use it to get into places easier, find extra loot. It's effectively a cutting lockpick. They will potentially add mission descriptions that could imply that you might need a multi-tool for, though they want players to be able to complete some missions in multiple ways, and they don't want to force players, well, in some situations they do, but they don't want to always force players into having very specific gear and tools. They want to give people as many ways of completing something as they can. There is FPS Scanning and Radar, that's going to allow you to detect harvestables in the future as well, not just minables, but also like dung and stuff on the ground. Currently in game, there is Ranta dung, Anamushi plague in caves, but there's also other harvestables around the planets. They're just in very, 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 very specific biomes. There's revenant pods, which can be found in deserts with atmosphere. There's golden medmons, which can be found on the savannas of Hurston. There's prota, which can be found in acid biomes. There are also component boards that can be found in trash biomes. The backpacks and commodity inventory in-game are the first implementation of those systems, but we're going to have a more modular storage in the future, better physicalized inventory. They want more specialization to mining in the future as well. You may require some more equipment for your prospector to mine a particular type of rock, for example. Some rocks might have a huge amount of resistance that need you to use a different laser, but using this kind of laser could have downsides, like adding more instability to a rock. So there are going to be multiple types of gear and equipment that you could put on your ship. They also are going to have consumables for allowing you to quickly cool your mining laser or prevent a rock exploding, things like that. But there's going to be limits to how many of these your ship can equip, and obviously they're going to cost UEC. Refining is also coming in the future, allowing you to go to a refining station and have them at a cost and over a period of time refine down whatever materials you want to give them into something potentially more valuable. These orders would continue to be worked on while you're offline, and obviously when you're flying around with large cargoes sort of worth of these very expensive refined materials, you might want to take escorts with you. In the future, they're going to have radars and scanners for detecting minables that could be equipped on other ships, not just the Prospector and Terrapin or whatever, and there's going to be downsides to these radars as they're not combat orientated, so you might not be detecting ships at very long range, but you are going to be able to detect sort of like minables and asteroids and prospect the ground better. They are working on more entrances for caves, sinkholes that whole ships can fit into, caverns that vehicles can drive into. They're working on more missions and getting combat NPCs in them too. They even talked about wildlife in caves, which they are now thinking about. NPC ships are supposed to be dropping at least some of their cargo when they are destroyed, but there are bugs with that at the moment. They're doing a bit of a balance pass to fix this and make looting worth a player's time, which is obviously going to be very important for piracy and a general sort of like outlaw system and people boarding other people's ships, stuff like that as well. Fines in the law system are currently paid off immediately, but in the future you'll be paying fines off at terminals that will be located in major landing zones, which are coming very soon. They want to have loads of caves on planets and moons. 3.7 is basically testing with 5 caves on specific planets and moons, just 5 on each of those. Server OCS, so server-side object container streaming, will allow them to have a magnitude more caves. They want to be able to have a lot on planets and moons. Players will be able to own their own land and prospect for minerals on it, own caves on that land. They made it very clear that they want Star Citizen to have a robust system to deal with and prevent and punish griefing in-game with in-game systems where possible. That's what their lore system is planned to do. Players should be able to share and transfer data from ship to player, from targeting to scanning info, and other bits that will be visible on your HUD or your party member's HUD. And in the future, we will be able to share locations with other players, sell that data. You'll be able to find caves, you'll be able to find asteroid sites, you'll be able to find great land for bases and sell that data to other players, or use them as waypoints to be able to go, well, this is where we're waypointing to, you guys. This is where our base is going to be located. This is where we're meeting. So there's some cool stuff there. I'm very much looking forward to 3.8 coming at the end of this year, to CitizenCon coming on the 23rd of November, for 3.7.1 if it's fixing the major bugs with 3.7. Oh, that'll make me so happy. But what do you think? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you've got any questions, if you've had a particularly great experience with 3.7 or 3.7.1, or a particularly bad one, what do you think we're going to be seeing in 3.8? What do you think we're going to be seeing at CitizenCon? I'd love to hear from you, whatever your thoughts are. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For October, it's an Anvil Carrack Explorer ship that should hopefully be flyable in Alpha 3.8 at the end of the year. Just comment on any of my videos made during October to be in for a chance to win that. I am also shilling for NordVPN and Shadow gaming PCs, so use the code BoredGamer for discounts there. NordVPN, in a world of censorship and privacy issues, VPNs allow you to browse the net and play games in more safety. NordVPN has many benefits over free VPNs, and that's why I shill for it. Some of you also might be interested in Shadow cloud gaming stuff. This allows you an alternative to sort of like buying and maintaining your own gaming PC. You can stream a custom Windows 10 environment to devices like your phone, a laptop, or a crappier, lesser PC, and bam, it's fantastically powerful, and it's maintained, and hardware is regularly updated for you. It's a fantastic service, Shadow. Cloud gaming certainly has quite a big future ahead of it. If you'd like to further support my channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, ringing the YouTube bell so you get notifications when a video goes live. This is a channel that is funded by the community via donations, Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone else that wants to get involved with comments and helping. Thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile. Take care, and I will see you in the verse.